Hello and good evening, good morning, good afternoon, depending on what time zone you're in. You've reached Technically Trek. I am your host, Dave Prime, and over there is my co-host, Captain Catie. As
I
I'm a Blizzard Admiral tonight because here in Colorado Springs we are just getting pounded with the white stuff the last 24 hours. It's just been crazy. It's just
and
like
I am so jealous. I really am, and I will apologise in advance because my webcam is once again. See, my webcam is once again playing up, and I don't know why.
it's possessed.
It is, but at least it gives people a freaking laugh. Um, but yes, yes, Mala, yes, I see Mala's comment.
Yeah. But damn. Da 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 da. But yeah, we here at Technically Trek, we predominantly talk Star Trek. It typically most often goes off the rails. Some weeks more than others. Like last week, definitely went a little too off track, but it is what it is. So, but yeah, so we're going to be talking this week's episodes the best exotic nanite hotel. Which if I had some shore leave planned up, I'd go there. I'd probably play some Dixon Hill slots. That sounded quite fascinating. But
What did?
I'm the Dixon Hill slot machines at one of the hotels.
Yes, I really liked that touch.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of touches there, like especially inappropriate touching by Boimler. It's like,
Yeah.
who puts their genitals there? But
Yeah.
yes, see, I looks like we already got Tyson on board. So hello,
Whoa!
Mr. Tyson.
Hello! That was fast.
Yeah, say there's not. Once again, just like seconds before the show, it's like crap. I forgot to write my script, so it is what it is. I blame the snow.
The best
Like it's
exotic
Nanite
Nanite
Hotel.
hotel. Now, I am, and as soon as I saw the title, I was excited because I am a huge fan of Dev Patel, of Maggie Smith, and many others who are in a fantastic movie called The Best Exotic Marigold Hotel,
Mm.
which was the name of the movie.
Yeah, this is
And
probably exactly where
that's
McMahon got
exactly where
the
it came from. Yeah,
idea.
the best exotic Marigold Hotel, the best exotic Nanite Hotel. It's clearly where they got the name. And the backstory is that you have some retirees from different areas that meet up at this hotel that's advertised as the best exotic Marigold Hotel. It's in India. And they go there on holiday. And Maggie Smith plays, at the beginning, she's a little bit racist, which is hilarious. I mean, just think of Professor McGonagall, but racist. Uh, she starts off, she's having surgery, and there's a black doctor, and he's washing his hands, and she says, "I don't care how much he washes, that color's never coming off." And
Oy.
it just, yes. And then he's gonna prep for surgery, and it's like, is there a white guy that can do? Anyway, it for her to end up in India where everybody's brown, and so it's a comedy. And at the end of it, they fall in love with this place. They end up buying the hotel, and along with the owner's son, and it's just a beautiful story. It's very funny. It's a beautiful story. It's probably 10 years old. The movie might be 10 years old.
That's all
If
right.
you haven't seen it, check out The Best Exotic Marigold Hotel. It is hilarious. So that's clearly where the title came from. So I was
I don't
waiting
like
for
that
Easter
movie.
eggs. Huh?
I don't like that movie.
You've seen it?
Yeah, I don't like it.
Okay. Well, I like Dev Patel. He's hot.
I'm
Anyway,
really weird with movies. I really am. I don't know what it is, but a lot of movies that people seem to absolutely love, I can't stand.
well, I was looking for Easter eggs. Like, was there any similarities? Like, any of that storyline from the Best Exotic Marigold Hotel show up here? Not a one. At least not one that I could. And I was a fan of the movie, and I've seen it many times. And there was not a Not an Easter egg to be found outside of the title. Oh, I was almost the new host. What happened to you, Dave?
No, I just stopped my camera for a second.
Oh, nobody cares. You can pick your nose on camera. It's fine.
No, it's yelling at the rhinoceroses outside the door.
There's no one outside your door.
What?
The kiddos. The kiddos.
Oh, I thought you said something else.
He
I
said
did,
rhinoceroses. Yeah, they were making a lot of noise, so he was telling them to be quiet.
Stomp, stomp.
I've never heard that expression before. I've always heard it as like a herd of elephants.
Well, first thing that came out of my mouth was rhinos, so.
Well,
they're just as heavy.
I'd rather face off with a rhinoceros than what they were dealing with in lower decks, to be quite honest, because that fucker was greedy.
That what?
Milius?
No, that big shape thing that was absorbing everything. It was a greedy little fucker. It just
the nanite. The actual nanite.
The Glumpus.
Yeah.
The Glumpus, yeah.
Yeah.
Which it turned out to be connected to the first episode. They snuck through one of the fissures a month ago. So, interesting.
Yeah, that I found that a bit weird, to be honest. I didn't quite. I did get it. I did, but it just seemed a little bit. I don't know. I found the episode very strange.
Oh yeah, it was definitely one of the stranger ones. But hey, we finally got to see the Galamites.
The who?
The Galamites, that with the transparent skulls. Captain Baudet was and Dax had a fling back in DS9.
Oh, sorry. Do you know what? I must have missed that. I will need to watch the episode again because I think I zoned out a few times because of what happened beforehand. So if I seem to zone out or anything while I'm on here tonight, I do apologize.
And I apologize ahead of time. Have to drop at 6:30. I do have a hard stop at 6:30, so I'm only here for the first half hour. And I definitely want to talk about Star Trek. I'm a little bit woozy from this morning. As I've said before, last night I was either going to open a bottle of champagne or a bottle of vodka, and it ended up being vodka. Last night was hard. It was really difficult, and I am really, really. I mean, we had two choices. Somebody who brings people together, was trying to be, I'll be present for everybody, and we had. The woman raper married 3 times that Christians can't trip over themselves enough to go worship his feet and draw pictures of him next to Jesus. And he won. So I mean, either the IQ in America has gone down or really we're just a racist, horrible country and it's just coming out. I'm not sure which. Maybe a little of both. But I'm just so sick right now. Anyway. No, I had to get that out. Whew. Now, it's Star Trek.
Yes, something a little bit happier.
We all know it's going to be good in a couple of centuries. I wish I could live to the 2400s so that I could bear witness to this, wonderful society that's to come in a few hundred years. But we're not there right now.
Ditto, Mala. Totally ditto.
One thing I will say, though, is our Prime Minister, Keir Starmer, cannot stand Trump. And now he's going to have to work with him.
Nobody can stand Trump. Oh, that's not true. Kim Jong-un loves Trump. Vladimir Putin loves Trump. Xi Jinping, I could probably take him or leave him. Though Xi Jinping did go to Mar-a-Lago during Trump's first term. So, Viktor Orban, autocrats and dictators, and they love him. But prime ministers and presidents and democratically elected leaders around the world hate him for the same reason I think Many of us do. But all right,
Hmm.
America's Hitler. Here we go. In 2024, I thought we did this in 1933, but I guess we're doing it again in 2024. Whatever.
Yeah. The results of the American election make me want to get into voodoo.
The saddest thing is around the world, there are people who know more about our politics than their own.
Yeah, I'm one of them. I know more about America than I do England at this point.
Yeah, I've heard that too, Mala.
Of course it was always the plan, and Trump will embrace it on January 20th. Anyway, please, I got to drop in just a few minutes. Let's get on to Star Trek. I want to talk about something other than
Yes,
that
please.
before I finish off that bottle of vodka. One of my favorite parts of the episode was the whole girlfriend thing.
Mm-hmm.
We never officially broke up. She still thinks I'm her girlfriend, and I love that we're seeing LGBT characters in Star Trek these days, whether it's Star Trek Discovery, Star Trek Lower Decks, something that the original Star Treks, and when I say original Treks, I'm talking about the Rick Bermans, through the Next Generation, DS9, Voyager, Enterprise. We never saw any gay people, but now we're finally starting.
That's technically not true.
We had an androgynous race once, and I think that's as close as it ever got.
There's also the Trill, and people always forget about the Trill. Now, even though the Trill basically, they don't, even though that they themselves have sexuality, the symbionts don't. So, especially those who are joined, those symbionts have male and female companions, and we saw that with Dax. And that just wasn't done just as a stunt to bring light to our community. That was done to explain a lot more about the Trill. And a lot of people seem to forget that it wasn't just an LGBT plus thing. It was also a species thing within Star Trek. And that is the big thing that's forgotten about when that episode happened.
Well, in Next Generation, the Trill didn't have spots yet. Don't know why.
If she was a Northern Trill.
Oh, is that what it was? Okay. Well, yeah, the other Trill had a couple of forehead ridges.
She's a Northern.
But see, that didn't help our community either, because that Trill went from a male body to a female body, and basically Beverly Crusher said, "Well, I can't love you now that you're the same sex as me, or I might love you, but we couldn't be in a relationship." I mean that.
Yeah, that pissed me off.
That kind of.
I don't think. I mean, she kind of gently pushed off. She was just saying something to the effect that she wasn't ready to accept something like that one.
Yeah,
that relationship. Sorry, I saw all this little pop up there.
It's so that kind of was sucky, and Catie. Oh God.
She's heard my voice.
She's not going to be happy until she's on camera.
Oh, hey, sweet. Hey,
you happy? You got your nose kissed now? All right. Okay.
She's actually. Well, I thought she was ready to leave on her own accord.
No, she's got claws, and she was going to dig into me. Oh, great! See what I started? All right, come here. Now this
but one. No, I do.
Sure. Aw, puppy.
I was really confused at the beginning of this episode when Jennifer came into it, because I was just like, they broke up.
Well, they didn't officially break up. They just didn't connect. But then we found out, yes, they did break up by Mary giving her the silent treatment. And she's like, then just came to that realization. It's like, oh crap, she still thinks we're a couple.
Well, I mean, I assumed that they'd broken up. I mean, I was just like, their relationship is over. And then Jennifer comes into it, and she's calling her babe, and hugs and kisses, and I'm like, have I seriously missed something here? I mean, I know that I passed out 10 minutes ago, but have I really missed something? And yeah, I'm really glad that was, I'm really glad that it wasn't just me, because I was really starting to rethink my entire Trek world.
I wonder if. Yeah, go ahead.
I was just saying, since your time is short, we'll give you the floor, since we only got about like another 10 minutes before you have to bolt. So
yeah, I've been trying to understand whether Mariner is she bisexual, or has she always liked girls? Because it seems to me that she liked guys too.
I don't think it's never definitively been said, but the only like serious relationship we saw with Mariner was with Jennifer. So
it doesn't really matter, to be honest.
No, it doesn't matter. I'm just curious. Like the Doctor and the Engineer on Discovery, they were gay, clearly gay. And then you had what were those two? The Asian and the androgynous one that were like was a trill, but then, I don't remember.
Yeah,
Gray and
Gray, Gray and
Doll?
I think Doll, was it?
Oh, what's her name? Is it?
But see, I think. Well, we always talk about LGB, right? And then, but we forget the T and the Q, the transgender, the queer, and the non-binary. And I think this was a non-binary situation where really didn't. They went by they. They did not express themselves as either male nor female.
Yeah, that it was Tall. Adira
Okay.
Tall.
And so that that was represented, I think, for the very, very first time in Star Trek, which I loved. Tall and Gray, that's right. And people couldn't see Gray at first.
Yeah.
Adira.
Yeah, I mentioned
Adira
that.
Adira and Gray in Discovery.
Yeah, I said Adira about 20 seconds ago.
Oh, Adira.
Yeah, I got their name wrong. I said Adrena, but I knew it was something along those lines. But yeah, I loved their relationship. I was so heartbroken when they both split. But that final episode with the two of them, when they like officially said goodbye, they tried to make it work long distance, but they just couldn't. And it was a very amicable split. But I loved their relationship. It was beautiful.
I don't know the answer to that.
I think so.
I don't understand the question.
No, because because the symbiont end up going into Gray or something like that. I remember, that was like last season, so I wasn't prepared for talking Discovery tonight. So I was like,
right. No, and I didn't mean to talk Discovery other than just to, I don't know where it was because of the girlfriend that I got off on LGBTQ, because this was obviously an LGBT relationship. So, and then I think we started looking at, while it's not a first for Star Trek, it is a rather new phenomena that we're just now showing it on the streaming Star Treks and not the originally aired Star Treks.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I will answer that question later once we've finished with Lower Decks, and then we can get onto the technically part of Technically Trek.
But I do have to say now, it's just like we got the biggest Boimler scream to date when he was falling off that mountain. He's just like, ah! all the way down.
Yeah, one thing that you've got to love about animation is that, someone can survive that drop.
I lost my hands. Oh my God! Whatever you do,
Oh.
don't go with him. I miss my hands.
Oh yeah, poor Jet. It's great to see him again. It's just like he's makes a canary analogy and saying, of course, nobody else picks up on it. So Boimler did.
Yeah. I love Boimler. I'm not liking his scruff. I'm really not. It doesn't suit him.
Is he gonna have a beard by the end of the series?
Pardon?
Well,
Boimler, is he gonna have a whole beard like in episode 1 when he had his duplicate?
I really
that
hope not. I do not like his facial scruff. I really don't. It doesn't suit him. And that alternate Boimler, the full beard, and no.
But he's trying to be like that Boimler, and he stole his pad, and they referenced the pad, I think, in episodes 2 and 3 now, right?
Mm-hmm.
So is he starting to grow out that beard to be like him? That's what I'm saying. By the time we get to episode 10, will he have that full?
I don't think so, because one of the later episodes is when Rutherford's shooting something out of his eyepiece. Boimler's like clean shaven.
Well,
I don't know if it's a misdirect or what, or
these.
I'm hoping that he sees sense.
These technically Trek episodes are kind of badly timed because the new episode comes out tomorrow. So I'm working on a week's. It was a week ago since I saw that episode.
Yeah.
I can't really remember.
Yes, this right here.
Yeah. Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Of course, Phil.
And hi, Phil.
Yeah, he'll be popping in shortly.
But no, I mean, I love Boimler, I really do, and it seems so wrong that there's no Scream in an episode from him, so I always miss that. Yes, I agree, Marla. But I mean, I love the characters in Lower Decks, and it was really nice to see Tindy back in her Starfleet uniform.
Mm-hmm.
I
think your autocorrect kind of screwed up there, Mala.
Booklet.
I think Mala meant Boimler.
Yeah, and her autocorrect went booklet.
Oh, you gotta love.
What was that little musical thing?
The vibe tubes.
That. Yeah, that was lovely. However, the dude who owns it, I can't remember his name.
Krog.
For some reason, he reminds me of a Marvel character.
Yeah, he's kind of like
Is it Korg?
Yeah, Korg. Yeah, Korg.
Yeah.
Not Krog.
Yeah,
Korg.
from Thor. From Ragnarok. But no, that was a bit random. But it was also really, really nice to see. What are they called? Oh, I can't remember what the race is called. As far as I'm aware, the only time I've ever seen them is in Enterprise.
The ones that got offended by Boimler eating.
Yeah, it was really nice to see them again.
Yeah, oh, never mind. I looked at my notes and say guy wrote Galamites on there. I thought it was the other alien race.
But yeah, there was little tiny things from other Treks in this, and I like it when they do that, the little Easter eggs. And
the mountain looked a lot like the Paramount Mountain.
I'm glad that's not just me. I thought that as well, and I'm just like, no, surely they can't have done that. But yeah, it's Paramount, of course they freaking did.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, gotta love Porthos. Sorry.
I gotta go back and watch Enterprise again. What episode was that?
That
Season?
Pass next question.
Right. Because I don't remember that episode, and I'm pretty sure I've seen all the Star Trek Enterprise episodes.
A Night in Sick Bay.
A Night in Sick Bay. What season is that? I should ask for the season and episode just so I can find it. I know there's only 4 seasons.
Yeah.
Oh, is it really Night in Sick Bay? That.
Yeah, because Porthos ended up getting sick, and yeah, season 2, episode 5.
Season 2, episode 5.
I knew that it was season 2, A Night in Sick Bay, because I struggle watching that, because even though I know Porthos, like, spoiler alert, but even though I know that that Porthos was okay, I still cry when I watch that episode. I can't watch anything with animals that like are injured or at risk of death or that do die. I cry more than I cry when people die.
Yeah, but yeah, same. Phlox put Porthos in that goop to.
Yeah,
brain's not forming words very easily today.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, my ditziness is rubbing off on the rest of the DT family. So, just
I do love your cobwebs behind you. I love those.
So was did the spider that was in my room last night.
Was that for Halloween, or is that just for always?
Oh, I've always got this around. It randomly changes places. Before it was here, it was hung on the corner of my wardrobe.
Well, it's a good thing you didn't find the real spider on the fake web. That would have been hilarious. That you would have had to photograph.
No, that was not hilarious, because that actually happened last night. And I had a panic attack so badly, I lost consciousness.
What? Over a spider?
I've got really severe arachnophobia.
Oh. And was he on your fake web?
Yeah, he was trying to come round here, but when he got to there, I like just at the top of here, I got him away, and he went up to...
Oh, is he back?
No, but a smaller one is. Jesus Christ.
Get the vacuum.
Later. I'll be good. I'll be brave.
Are you sure?
But no, this spider that I got last night was about that big.
Yeah, I saw the photo and I kind of freaked out a little bit. It's like,
all right, that's my alarm. They're getting ready for the net. I gotta go. Bye,
right,
guys.
Talk to you later, Tyson.
Love you lots.
Bye.
Yeah, I'll just leave the space blank there because Phil should be coming here shortly, hopefully.
But
he's just fixing up his camera.
Yes, it was. It was about that big.
Ugh.
And I nearly fell off my bed to get the Hoover up there. And I kind of half squished it, and then it died, and then I threw it outside. And yeah, and now there's another one, which isn't good. Because before last night, the last time a spider decided to try to make my acquaintance,
somebody died.
Yes, and something else has happened, which I cannot disclose because it doesn't have anything to do with me. And I'm just hoping that everything is okay in that respect.
And now you got another one, so just like, good boy.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed.
So,
See, anyway, I was going to try to mention when Tyson was still here, so they had shades of the movie Apocalypse Now in this episode.
I don't know. I haven't seen that.
I have. probably haven't seen it in like forever, but no, saying the AWOL falls and the ritual and all that when Boimler and Phillips and
Mm.
Ransom were all captured and whatnot, and with Milius, it's like, yeah, it's like definite. And I've seen other people talk about it too with their podcasts about the episodes. They definitely ripped off of scenes from Apocalypse Now.
I see. I haven't seen that, so I didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't get that.
Yeah, say, Phil, have you seen Apocalypse
Yeah.
Now?
Oh, hello.
Hello.
Hi, how are you? So have I seen Apocalypse Now?
Yeah.
Uh, so long.
Same.
It's been like I think early 90s.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hi, Mala.
Yeah,
I was hoping to at least get in time to say a quick hi to Tyson. So I'm sorry I missed Tyson. Hi and bye.
yeah, he had an early radio net today.
Yeah, yeah, I heard. I was just trying to get stuff kind of set up properly with the camera. Just it was a bit messy here, and I was just like, oh my god, like it was like I got to get this together and ready. So
we just gotta get Mala on camera now too.
Yes, we need to see Mala's gorgeous face.
But yeah, I was saying, yeah, the mountain that the team was climbing, definitely very, very, very close to spot on to the Paramount Pictures mountain for their logo.
oh, cool.
Yes. I thought that was just me trying to place something, but
Well, and of course, it's not the first time it's been there because it's the Black Mountain as well.
I feel a little bit bad. I watched it several days ago, and it was my intent to watch it again. And I got working on something, and next thing you know, the time ticked away, and I feel like it's a little bit fuzzy now. So I should have taken some time to try and watch it again before tonight, and took a few notes, and I didn't. But I'll have to make sure I do that next week.
You do remember the Boimler scream at least, right? When he's falling off the mountain.
Yes.
Maybe it's the spider. Yeah,
I'm already like shaking
Sorry.
profusely because there's a spider in my room. So
on this narrow view.
Yeah, but yeah, and it's flipped her upside down once already, right at the top of the show.
yeah, do you know what? I really am wearing the right top for how I'm feeling right now.
Excuse me.
Oh, it's back to
Today's mood: cranky,
Oh,
with a touch of
many
psycho.
are.
That's what the entire top says. Today's mood: cranky with a touch of psycho. And then it's got like a really grumpy cat on it. So yes,
I think that many of us are today, but
yeah, not just Americans, I'm afraid.
Oh no. Yeah, I won't go into any detail right now. I know we stay on track.
and of course, like before Boimler's falling off the mountain. How do you make gravity stop? Then he
I love that.
That's a great
I
one.
have something similar in the past. This is why I love Boimler, because the things he comes out with, I could imagine myself coming out with stuff like that, and how accident prone he is. I am so accident prone you wouldn't believe. I mean, you could easily imagine Boimler with my ditziness. And
then, of course,
I think that's why I get on with him so well.
And then of course he grabs the genitals of a furry species and is just like, why are they on your back? Where else would they be?
Well, yeah, you know what's grabbing genitals between species, you know. I'm sure they'll become friends now, you know.
Yeah. Sorry.
But no, I am struggling with
Again.
this season of Lower Decks. I will be honest. I don't dislike it, but I don't love it. I'm very much hoping that things get better as we go along. But no, I don't know if it's just the way that I'm feeling right now. I'm not in a very TV mood. So it could be that. But I am finding things funny, and you know, I am enjoying watching it, but I do feel a little bit disconnected. So I don't know if that's just the way I'm feeling because of circumstances right now, or if it is just that I'm finding it difficult.
But yeah, see, I honestly didn't take a lot of notes. I mean, I've watched it a couple of times, but I watched it this afternoon and took notes, and just there's like so much going on. Just I wasn't sure what to write, and plus the fact that I'm just grabbing whatever random piece of paper I can because my notepad just plumb disappeared on me. So
I'm sure you'll find it when you don't need it.
Exactly. See, well, I do have my other notepads, but I focus those for just AA type stuff. Oh, sorry.
But no, I haven't taken any notes. I mean, last week's episode, I took 2 notes. And I didn't even bother getting my notepad out tonight because I'm just not a very good note taker anymore. It's rather I basically write the script or I don't write anything. There seems to be no in between with me at the moment. But no, it was quite a fun episode, although that river wasn't very deep.
No. It was
the river wasn't very deep. I was expecting them to, you know, like bob there on the water and having to keep themselves up, but all 3 of them, once their little floaty tire type things were unalived, they just stood there, and I'm just like, that river is not very deep.
Well, the Puyallup River, not far from where I lived, but when I was in the Seattle area, yeah, when there were people just standing right in the middle of it doing fishing and stuff. It was only about like not even knee deep.
Yeah, I mean, I know there are rivers out there that aren't all that deep, but I don't know. Something made it seem really deep, and I don't know. I don't know why. It was. Yeah, I think it's just the way I am at the minute. I'm just seeing things very strangely.
The things I've actually opened it back up. I'm looking over at the side here, and I'm a little distracted because I open it back up on another screen, and I'm just I'm going to switch it over to this one, and I'm just sort of looking at it again because I'm trying to remember some things from it just so that I refresh my memory. And so I'm opening it back up, and I've got the audio down on it, but I'm just
watching it again. That's all
just
good.
sort of playing it here while we're talking, so that something clicks.
And Boimler's giddiness when Ransom asked him to go undercover, and he's like, "Ooh, do we get to wear the black bodysuits?" Like those outfits that Picard, Worf, and Crusher wore in the Chain of Command.
Yeah, he gets excited about the cutest things, bless him.
Mm-hmm.
I love Boimler.
Oh, and when Ransom first approached him, saying, "You're going to go on an undercover op," and he winks, and Mariner's like, "Don't do that. That's creepy." And then he's just like, "Well, I didn't do it with my signature smirk," and he winks again, and it has that little ting as he does it. I'm just like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah,
it's just the littlest things. Just McMahon's just having too much fun. putting this show together, and I applaud him for that.
Yeah, I don't like Ransom. I really don't. There's been a couple of times where I've been like, all right, maybe he's not as bad as I like. I've made him out to be in my head, but then he does something, and I'm just like, no, he really is as bad as I made out in my head. But yeah, I ain't keen on him.
But
There we go.
one of the other.
Are we seeing less of Freeman as like as the entire series has gone on? It's almost like we see less and less of her.
Well, you got to remember the show is lower deck, so the focus is on more so on the junior officers than the senior staff. But yeah, there have been some seasons where they're more prominent. But yeah,
True.
after the Pac-led Planet incident, yeah, we haven't seen quite as much gush started. And I got plenty of sleep last night too, so I don't know why I'm so tired. I pretty much stayed. There's no pretty much. I did stay home today because the snow is so bad here in the Springs. There's a good half foot of snow out there.
That I was thrown off when you said that. I was like, "What?" Because
I'm so jealous.
I'm right near Toronto, Canada, and it was 20 degrees Celsius. I got to check Fahrenheit, but it was warm for us today.
Yeah,
we're having like spring, almost borderline summer temperatures today.
Oh, I die when it's like 20 degrees Celsius here. I mean, my bedroom at the moment, even though it's like 15 minutes to 2 a.m. in Celsius, it's like 21 degrees here, and I'm dying, and I'm like really struggling not to strip off down to my vest.
It's -5 Celsius outside right now.
Wow.
Oh my god, that is like the perfect temperature for me.
Oh, I'll try to send some. I'll swap you.
It's so bizarre.
I don't know. I'm one of these people where I've been known to walk down the street in just like a vest top at like -5 Celsius.
I
can't anymore.
Oh my god, he was in Sliders.
Yeah, he was the lead in Sliders.
God,
Quinn O'Malley.
Eons.
Oh, I always loved Jerry O'Connell.
Yeah, but I watched I watched Sliders a while back, and I'm just like, wow, I liked this show. It's just like I just think it's like the special effects and everything like that. I'll probably give it another shot.
There's a terrible movie that he's in that I absolutely get the biggest kick out of watching, even though it's bad. It's called Joe's Apartment.
Oh God, I'm
familiar with that one. Yeah, you have to be in the right, ready for that one if you're going to watch that one. But it still makes me laugh, that movie.
Yeah, I haven't seen that one in forever.
But
I'm done with the show tonight. I'm probably going to catch up with all my other shows like Tracker and NCIS and the new NCIS Origins.
Yeah, I'm definitely not going to be watching that.
Which one?
Origins. I mean, I only like the original NCIS up to season 15. I stopped watching it when a certain character left. And the only other NCIS that I like is Los Angeles.
That's been canceled. They got season 2 of Sydney's coming up here soon-ish.
I have been intrigued about watching that purely because of one of the actresses in it, Olivia Swan. She's lovely. But I haven't got around to watching it yet.
I'll probably have to rewatch it again because the first season was only like 8 episodes, so you could binge that in a day easily.
Oh God, yeah. I could probably binge watch both seasons if it's only 8 episodes long, like in a day.
Season 2 hasn't happened yet, so it's they only have one season right now.
Mm.
See, I actually had to turn one of my side fan. Actually, I turned both my side fan and my ceiling fan off because it was getting too cold in my room. So I'll probably flip the ceiling fan so it pulls up and pushes down, so it kind of gets some of the heat from above to go down.
But no, while I was actually watching this episode of Lower Decks, I was itching to be on that mountain in all the snow. And yeah, I was just like, I really wish I was there right now, or I really wish I was in the Springs right now because I know it's snowing.
And the winter storm warning's in effect until 5 a.m. Saturday, so that we're not close to being done with it yet.
Ugh.
But
there is
Welcome
something
back.
about being indoors when there's like a big, cold, blowy snowstorm and you're indoors with like a nice warm cup of tea or coffee and a good TV show or something to do. And it's terrible outside, but you're nice and warm and cozy in your house. There's something about that I enjoy.
Yeah, if I was still drinking, I would have had a nice hot toddy last night. But since I don't drink anymore, I did not have one.
that's why the gods invented hot chocolate.
Well,
Yeah.
I could still get like the hot toddy mix and throw a cup of milk in the microwave and heat it up or something like that, so I can have a non-alcoholic toddy. I just thought of that.
I have that episode of Lower Decks open. One thing I do notice about Lower Decks, this has been like this all the way through the series, is I've got to take a closer look at what's going on around in the background, because there's so many little things that sometimes a scene will go by and there's like, it starts with a wide shot, they're walking in somewhere, and there's this one little thing somewhere in the corner that is either a gag or a joke or a reference that I don't always pick up on right away, and somebody else mentions it, and I was like, "What?" And I have to go back and look at it and watch it again and realize there's all these things that I always miss.
Yeah, Jörg Hillenbrand, he's really, really good at picking up on stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
Plus, he's worked on the production staff at Lower Decks too, so I'm sure he's had his hand on a few of them. But I mean, yeah, but when he'll do things like. Here's what the 2-foot model, the 4-foot model, the 6-foot model of the Enterprise, and he did one of those recently. So I've been following him on Twitter for years.
I got to pause on the scene where he was coming up to the edge of the cliff on the skis, and I realized there's 2 signs. One that says "Coward's Gulch, smooth and easy," and then "Warning, expert's demise."
Yeah, and not only that with the expert's demise, but they had like that orange caution, like construction plastic fence, but it was broken off, so it just like makes you wonder.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, I picked up on that.
Oh yeah, there's so many little things that
I
will
always
happen
seem
throughout
to
it.
miss a lot of things, like little Easter eggs and stuff.
That's why I watched the episode 4 or 5 times before this show. So
when it comes to like, do you know, like the live action ones, I tend to notice mistakes.
Sure,
but I don't notice the Easter eggs. But I've always been one for noticing like movie mistakes and things in the background that shouldn't be there, like CGI mistakes and things like that. I've always been one to notice them. But when it comes to Easter eggs,
next gen,
especially if it's from the show that must not be named, you know, I don't notice the Easter eggs. It's very rare that I do. And when I do, I'm like, oh my God, I got it. I got it.
You've got
And
one.
I'm really excited about it because I don't usually notice things like that. So when it comes to watching Lower Decks, I know that there's not really going to be probably any like CGI mistakes, but
Yeah.
like
Yeah, obviously, if it was
really,
animation, let's say,
Easter eggs. I'll know like the alien race. I remember those, the ones that are easily offended, like by eating and things. It was nice to see them, and I understood the reference, but sometimes it just goes straight over my head.
I was wondering actually in that skiing scene and something I was going to look forward to because I don't remember what it looks like. That large pink Muppet thing with the round. Do you remember when he's skiing and he runs into it and he sort of
the Sasquatch with the genitals on his back.
on his back? Okay, yeah. I was wondering if that was. First, I was wondering, was that the same thing as from Star Trek VI? That he kicks. Was it the same thing except that because that was had in his knees apparently, right?
Yeah. It's just like not everybody keeps their genitals at the same place because and he's just like, why are you grabbing my genitals and why are they on your back? Like, where else would they be? So yeah, it's a total Star Trek VI dig there.
Yeah.
Again, I didn't get that reference neither because I've blocked out anything TOS.
Yes.
No, but say Kirk was having a big old fight with this big, scary, purpley, shimmery faced dude, and he was on his back, and he saw the alien had a hole in his what was supposedly his knee, and he just bam, he just rightfully kicked the dude, and he's just like groaning. He's like, oh, and he's like, lucky that thing had knees, and Marty was like, that was not his knee, Captain. That's with the same line said, not everybody keeps their genitals in the same place.
Yeah, it reminds me of Men in Black 2 with the Volchinians.
But they probably took that off of Star Trek 6 as well.
Yeah.
But I was looking for... let me see if...
But no, I can't believe that Boimler just wants to relax and laze about. I was very surprised that he succumbed to that admiral's request to defect, because Boimler is so loyal to Starfleet, but it didn't take much coaxing for Boimler to succumb. And that seemed very out of character for Boimler.
I thought that too, and I was wondering if he was at the time. I was wondering if was he saying that on purpose? Because I thought the same thing when he said that. But,
I mean, I obviously we knew he was going to go back, but yeah, it seemed very un-Boimler
character
for him to succumb to defection, and it was just like, whoa, he must be really going through some shit right now for him to basically fuck off Starfleet. And it just makes me wonder what he has got going on under there. Because I know that he's always been a perfectionist. He's always strived to be more. But since he met his like alternate in that other universe, he's going through some shit right now, and I hope that they address it. I'm wondering if it will all come to light what he's going through, because he's obviously going through a lot of emotional stuff in regards to meeting his alternate self.
I think that's been since the beginning that he's wanted to either not feeling he's not feeling like he's enough for this, or that he's feeling too inadequate, and I'm feeling that. And that's why he wants to grow the beard. And he saw this alternate version that was like that was already advanced further than he has, and he's like, oh, maybe I can do
And
this.
and his alternate is still a lieutenant. So
yeah. That's why he's trying to grow this beard that's not right on him, and he's trying to be something that he's not. So yeah.
I mean, he's always felt a little bit inferior, you know. But he's always got the job done, and he always gets through. But since that last episode, he's been so weird, and I really hope that it's addressed, because it needs to be.
I think it will. I think it's going to build to something towards the very end of the season. There seems to be tiny little B threads through it that always end up building to something in like the last episodes or somewhere later on.
I'm blanking on the name of this. We'll just call it the microchip. It fell through one of those fissures that was from episode 1. So that's why I'm thinking that the episode titled Starbase 80, I still have a sneaking suspicion we're going to see the 327 crew again.
Oh yes, yeah, I think so too.
We'll maybe find out what happened to the other Captain Freeman, what got her at Starbase 80.
Something I got to look up, because we were saying earlier how they drop little things in the images and the backgrounds and things going on. And when they were on the river and they were going in on the tires, and I remember looking at this, and I'm looking at it again real quick, and they're going into this mouth of this cave. You see it's like they're in the jungle, and you see there's a sign that says reserved in front of it, right? And that mouth of that cave, I'm wondering if that's supposed. I have to go back and see if I can find it. But I thought that looks like, and I apologize in advance, Catie. It looked like in TOS there was an episode with a dragon mouth cave. I'm trying to think of what it was.
The apple.
Was it the apple? Yeah, and I'm wondering. I got to go look for it and see if they based it on what that looked like, because I remember that. Oh, that looks like
Vol. I think Vol was the name of the god or something. I didn't even think of that.
Yeah, it threw through my mind quickly, and I was like, I'm gonna have to look that up, and then I completely forgot about it. But I'll have to look for that now.
Yeah, I mean, even though I've seen all the movies and I have probably seen every episode of TOS, I've blocked it all out. The only one I can't seem to block out is the freaking cage. And that is just... But there again, I think that one of the reasons I can't block that out is because it's linked to an episode in Strange New Worlds. So that's probably one of them. I mean, in all honesty, I forgot a lot of episodes of Lower Decks. But I do tend to forget episodes. See, this is why I don't like watching them episodically. I like to wait until the full season's out and then binge watch it. And then what I'll do is, because I do have really bad memory problems because of my conditions and my insomnia, I will watch a full season. Then once I finish the final episode, I'll go back to the beginning and watch it again, and then it's in my brain. So you know,
and I get that. Yeah,
I've already forgotten a lot from the first 2 episodes of the final season of Lower Decks, and I do apologize for that.
Okay,
but I'm still enjoying it. I do think that one of the reasons I'm not enjoying it as much as I really should is because of circumstances right now. But I really wish I could get the Easter eggs. It does my head in that I can't get all the Easter eggs.
Well, one of the other Easter eggs I didn't pick up on were the vibe tubes themselves is an Easter egg, because the way the vibe tubes that Korg and Talin were playing with.
Oh, the music thing.
Yeah, saying
Yeah.
the first season of Next Generation will always have Paris, that maitre d' that at the holodeck.
Oh my
With,
god.
saying he was playing these. It didn't have a name back then, but now it does.
Yeah. Jeez, you really.
Well, I can't take credit for that because someone else pointed that out
Okay.
online. But the ship's the Endeavor, the micro ship, and then of course
the Endeavor.
the micro Intrepid class ship.
The Endeavor.
Yeah.
Yes, I remembered something.
No,
Sorry.
it sounded like a question, just like the
Right.
Endeavor. So when I said Endeavor, you're like the Endeavor. It's like, yeah, the Endeavor. but there's a Voyager little Easter egg there. We've been through a month of hell.
Yes, I did get
Yeah.
that. Yes, only a month. Yeah.
A month.
I still don't understand why people say that is one of the best double episodes of Voyager ever, because it really isn't.
I'd have to lean toward because I mean, of course, that entire year got erased, but that was originally going to be the plan for all of season 4. It was going to be a literal year. But they kept it
Do you know
down
the
to 2
reason
episodes.
why that isn't why that double? And I will say this very quickly, and then we will get back to Lower Decks. But it's being brought up because of a little Easter egg that's been put in there. Do you know the reason why that double episode isn't as good as people say? In my opinion, is because everybody seems to completely bypass something that was never taken into account.
I think I know where you're going with this.
The whole thing was about this Crenham dude, and he was trying to change reality, and he did everything he could, and he started like hyper focusing on Voyager and thinking that it was Voyager. The only thing that was stopping him from getting the reality correct was that lock of hair. That was the anomaly in everything. Even though it was protected in a bubble, like outside of time, the same as the Crenham ship. They allowed for the ship itself and the crew, but they did not allow for that lock of hair to remain, and that's why he couldn't get his wife back. But when the ship was destroyed, so was the lock of hair. So when everything reverted and you saw him with his wife all happy, it was because that lock of hair had been destroyed. That was the anomaly.
Wow, that is a sound theory.
Yeah. And that is why that episode, I mean, don't get me wrong, it is a brilliant episode, but then there's also like the lack of Kess's information that was like completely disregarded from her time jumping. There was that wasn't taken into account. They had no idea who the Crenham were when they came into contact with them, and yet, supposedly Kess had given them all that information. But people think it was such a good episode. It was so well done. And, why isn't this happening? They're changing reality. And whenever I bring up that lock of hair, everyone's just like, oh my God. And they'd never even taken that into consideration. But he was basically keeping his wife unalived by keeping that lock of hair. And zoom out.
Your camera did the reverse for once.
Yeah.
Oh. So it's in so I have to ask then when that in this episode of Lower Decks, and he comes across who I guess is an ex-admiral. I don't know the character is.
Yeah, Milius. I mean, he was still active. He went AWOL.
Right. Is he like? I'm wondering who voice. Like, is he a character from another episode of? Because I said I missed some of like Deep Space Nine and Voyager. I never did see the entire series of those. So I'm wondering, is he from like an episode, or is that, or he just
I don't
was he
remember him at all?
Okay, I was wondering who did the voice, or was he? Is this he's from another episode? Maybe they've kind of thrown him, or is he just an original character for this? But I was wondering who did the voice.
Yeah, I'm looking it up right now.
Who did the voice?
Toby Huss. See, that name does not sound like someone that's done Star Trek before.
Okay.
But let's see if...
I wondered if... I just wondered when he came up. I'm like, should I know him from an episode of something? And I don't know who this is.
I was trying to work that out throughout the entire episode.
He voiced the Hank Hill's dad in King of the Hill.
Oh, all right, okay.
That might be what you recognize it from.
Oh, that was a show I never watched either, so I wouldn't have wondered if
well,
maybe...
he's done the voice of Todd in Beavis and Butthead.
Okay.
I'm just looking.
But no, the Admiral himself, I don't recognize, so it must just be a new Admiral that they've brought in.
Yeah.
He's
done,
I was quite disappointed with that.
He's done a lot of voiceover work over the years, though. Like say, King of the Hill, Misfits and Monsters, Venture Brothers.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, Harvey Birdman.
Show if you've never seen Venture Brothers.
Yeah, he was Copycat.
He's probably not done any voice work in anything that I've seen.
Oh, hold on. No, he's... Yeah, but he also did the voice of Khan Supa, however the heck you say his name, from King of the Hill as well.
Oh.
Yeah, I've only seen a couple of episodes of King of the Hill, and I can't stand it.
You and me both. I was never big into it. I knew friends that loved it. It's like, it's animation, you should like it. I'm like, no, just because it's animated doesn't mean I like it.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. But no, I do. One thing that I do like about Lower Decks, though, is when you recognize somebody's voice when there's like a new character that's come into it, and you know that voice. There was an episode of Lower Decks. Was it? Yeah, it was Lower Decks. Where they were on the avian planet,
mm-hmm.
and with the little pardon?
Peanut hamper.
Yeah, peanut hamper. The avian that she kind of like fell in love with, I recognized his voice straight away. and I was so proud of myself.
Oh.
Because yeah, I would recognize his voice anywhere. Harry Shum Jr. He was in Glee, but he also played Magnus Bane in Shadowhunters. And I mean, I've seen that show God knows how many times. He's like one of my favorite characters in it. Him and his boyfriend Alec. They are like my favorite couple in Shadowhunters. But yeah, I recognized his voice straight away, and I'm just like, this is probably like the first time ever that I have recognized someone just purely by their voice. I can't remember another time that I've recognized someone just from, well, unless it's been someone like James Earl Jones or someone like that. But, you know, I mean, James Earl Jones has got a very distinctive voice. You know, if you don't recognize his voice, then, you know, I may get into voodoo. But, you know, it is nice when you're watching something animated like Lower Decks, especially with it being Star Trek as well, because they have so many actors in it from so many different things. And it's surprising what these voice actors have been in.
It drives me nuts when I hear a voice and it's like, I know that from somewhere, or I feel like I should know that voice from somewhere, but you don't know. And
that was me back in the 90s when I was watching Boy Meets World, when Mr. Feeney was for the longest time I just like it's driving me nuts. It's like, I know his voice, I recognize his voice. Who is he? Where do I recognize it from? And then one day he said Michael, and I just like, it's Kit. He did the voice of Kit, because back then they didn't have the internet to like, who is this guy? What is his IMDb? Because IMDb wasn't even twinkle in anyone's eye back then.
Never existed. The internet wasn't even.
Well, at least publicly, saying the military had it, and all that, but nothing like what it is now. But yeah, like I said, that was just like, it was eating at me alive, and I think I actually screamed when I figured it out. Because I mean, still am a big Knight Rider fan, so.
Yeah, I think it's the only thing I can stand watching with David Hasselhoff in it. And I still don't like David Hasselhoff. I really don't. I just watch Knight Rider for Kit.
I did, yeah.
Yeah, and like everybody else that was in it, I completely disregarded him. The same when I used to watch Baywatch. But now, as much as it does my head in when I think I recognize somebody's voice, I'm just like, I know their voice, so I'll like go on IMDb and I'm like, nope.
Now we can do that.
I haven't watched anything that they've been in, done voices for, and I'm like, why do I recognize your voice then? Or why did I think I recognize your voice? And then somebody can be in it, oh, I should recognize their voice because I've seen tons of stuff they've been in or tons of stuff they've done voiceovers for. And then I'm just like, shame. There's no in between. It's the same with live action stuff as well. You know, I'm just like, I recognize you from somewhere. I'll go on IMDb and I'm like, I've never seen anything you've been in.
Yeah, I know. Isn't it awful? Yeah.
Yeah. But no, there's a question that that Marla asked earlier about the Trill, and I can't actually remember what happened to that symbiont, Tal. I really can't, because I know that initially it was in grey, and then Adina took it. And then I don't know what happened after that. I think it was given to another Trill, or did the symbiont die? I can't remember, because it never went back into Grey, because Grey became an android.
I'm looking at the IMDb or the Memory Alpha on that right now.
Yeah, because I really can't remember. But I mean, Adina will, like, technically, I would have thought would still have some memories of, like, from the symbiont, from Tal.
Hmm.
I mean, I would have thought so, but when Jadzia temporarily lost the Dax symbiont, she remembered everything, but when that other Trill had it removed and Dax was put back into Jadzia, he couldn't remember anything.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know how it works in that sense, but but yeah, I'm going to have to watch it all again. Well, apart from season 1 of Discovery, but I'm going to have to watch it all again, because I do like Discovery. I'm going to have to watch all of Lower Decks again, because I've forgotten more than like half of it.
Yeah, I thought about going back and watching parts of Lower Decks again, because I just enjoy watching them.
Yeah, Memory Alpha is just very gray in what happened to Tal. It doesn't really say, but it says that Tal is still alive. So
then Tal must have been given to another Trill then.
yeah, it just says Gray's consciousness was later unjoined from Tal and transferred into a synthetic body by Dr. Kolber. And saying in 3191, Guardian Z mentioned that Adir being joined to Tal precluded them from. Okay, that doesn't really help. That's just but talking about the Jantara.
Yeah, because Adina and Grey didn't come into it till season 3, did they?
Yeah.
I really am going to have to go back and watch it.
I've got a question actually here, because I did want to watch this properly and watching to figure out, because it went by so quickly, and I was a little bit confused at the end, because they find not a Voyager class,
Intrepid
class, thank you, in the grain of this metal absorber thing that they got. So
Glumpus.
Was it from another dimension from the previous episode? Is that it?
Yeah, they fell through one of those fissures that the Cerritos fell into on episode 1. Saying so they're totally multiverse in this one. So the Endeavor came from another universe altogether.
She's got an older uniform on.
Well, she's got, which just makes it even more beautiful. So it's like the next generation, like a 2360s era uniform, but in an Intrepid class using the old combat. So so yeah, there's just like, that's just chock full of Easter eggs right now. Just like they're the same, but they're just slightly different. So
hopefully they'll just stick to multiverse and not multi-dimension, because that'll get really confusing.
And so their universe, they didn't get the DS9 style comm badges, and they didn't get the DS9 Voyager jumpsuits either. So they didn't transition to that or to the movie era uniforms either. Same.
Okay, I was wondering about it, because they didn't, at the end, they kind of didn't really know what to do with them. I felt like
well, they left it open. That's what Milius's new mission is.
Right.
To help figure out how to get a Fisher to get them back to their
to their
universe.
Yeah,
So they
so
have the-
maybe we'll be seeing more of that Admiral, or maybe we'll be seeing more of the alternate universe.
or other universes might be leaking in too. So
Well, yeah, I mean, this rescue mission, it could shatter things for all we know, and bring some of the barriers down between the universes. We just don't know. I don't think that'll happen because they've already stolen from DC. They don't really want to steal from Marvel as well. But yeah, we'll just have to see if anything happens with that.
Yeah, this is one of those little B threads that I'm sure is going to turn into something at the end of the series. How many is it? How many episodes is this series? Is it
10?
10? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. So we're what, 3 or 3 now?
Yeah, but we just got to remember now, saying when they made season 5, they weren't aware that there was not going to be a season 6. So,
Right.
So who knows how it's going to end.
So they had to go back and redo stuff like Discovery did.
Well, that's with live action, that's easy peasy. With animation, that's not as simple.
Well, as long as it doesn't end on a cliffhanger, because if it ends on a cliffhanger,
there'll be riots.
I will possibly scream live on air.
Oh yeah, I think if it did, you would think they would try and have like at least, if there's enough push, to do like a wrap up episode or like a special extra long episode just to kind of wrap
or even a movie.
In a movie length, yeah.
It can't end on a cliffhanger. I'm sorry, it can't.
Oh, the fans
I will scream because I am not taking my time watching all of this for it to end on a cliffhanger and me getting no closure. In that sense, I'm very much like Sheldon.
Yeah, that's.
I need that closure. I mean, there's certain TV series that I refuse to watch because I know that it ends on a cliffhanger.
Yeah. No, yeah, it's a shame this is the last season, though. Geez, it would have been nice if they could have had it go. I thought maybe they were going to try and push for 7, since it's kind of.
I'm happy that it's the final season.
What?
They went 5.
Yeah, I'm really sorry, but I am actually quite happy that this is the final season. I think that, in all honesty, I think that they've got everything out of Lower Decks that they can possibly get. I will be sad to see it go. I will, but I do genuinely believe that if they were to carry it on past season 5, it'd crash and burn.
I was kind of prepared in my head for it to go 7 because I figured like that was Next Gen, Voyager, and Deep Space Nine went 7, and that was the plan for Enterprise. They were going to try and push it. They were going to try and make 7 seasons the length, but
yeah, they were. And apart from that final episode, which we will not discuss, I will be ranting about this for the next 6 hours. But taking away that final episode, I think that they did the right thing with Enterprise. Like, in hindsight, I do believe they did the right thing with it. They just ended it so wrong. And they killed my favorite character. And I don't do beta canon. Beta canon is not in my periphery at all. So, that they killed my favorite character. DS9 did it as well, but at least they waited 6 seasons to do it. But, with Enterprise, I think they got out of that all that they could. Possibly they could have squeezed a season 5. But anything beyond that, it would have crashed and burned. I believe that DS9 went on for too long, purely for the fact that they dragged out that Dominion War for like 4 seasons. And that is one of the reasons I don't like DS9. I will watch it. There are episodes that I absolutely love, even from the later seasons. But that Dominion War, it dragged like beyond belief. They could have thought of something so much better to do. They could have ended that Dominion War, maybe dragged it on for a couple of seasons, ended the Dominion War at like season 5, and then they could have done something else with season 6 and 7. You know, they could have explored the Gamma Quadrant a little bit more. You know, that they could have done so much more with it, but instead they decided to just drag on that Dominion War, and it became like the same old for me a little bit, with a few decent episodes sprinkled in. And that's why I'm glad that Lower Decks is ending. I mean, unless it ends on a cliffhanger, I'm glad that this is the final season of Lower Decks, because it concerns me that they would do with Lower Decks something similar to what they did with DS9 and drag things out. And I don't want to see Lower Decks crash and burn.
Yeah. Yeah.
I do believe that if it does go on beyond season 5, it will. It will crash and burn so hard. I mean, I love Lower Decks. I do. But rather end it on a good note and on a high, rather than ending it because it's just plummeted.
I thought it was still going strong enough that it might have been able to go an extra season or 2. There are only 10 episodes a season, so I thought it might have been strong enough to carry, you know, with enough stories and ideas and adventures to carry it through another season or 2 before it was like, okay, this is where we have to bring it to an end.
I mean, I'm not enjoying, so far anyway, I'm not enjoying this season as much as I've enjoyed the last 4 seasons.
Yeah. I've personally been okay with it so far. I'm finding that it's I think more in terms of episodes and seasons, I guess. I have sort of favorite episodes that are sprinkled throughout the 4 seasons, so I kind of don't look at it and go, this season was better than this season. It's like, oh, there was some good episodes here, and maybe this one didn't register with me as much. But ask me which season some of them were in. Now I don't remember. I'd have to go back and find some. But yeah, it's I find so far it's been on par. There hasn't been anything yet that's really jumped out that made it like a favorite episode or anything. But so far, I've been chuckling and enjoying it.
Don't misinterpret me. I am enjoying it. I think the enjoyment isn't there because of like life circumstances right now.
Right.
But
yeah.
Even still, I don't think it's. I'm not feeling the same kind of connection to it as I did the other seasons, and that's unless it's really going to pick up, you know, in the next couple of episodes, and it's just going to be like, it was a slow burn. If that's the case, then fair enough. I apologize, but going by what I've seen in these 3 episodes, I'm even more glad it's ending, because it doesn't seem to be having that same impact as the previous 4 seasons. The previous 4 seasons of Lower Decks, there's been a lot more immersion in it. There's been a lot more oomph, is the only word I can describe it as. So unless it is just a slow burn and they're leading up to something really big, I don't know. But I'm not hating it by any means. You know, I am enjoying it. It's just...
I think memory serves me going way back to the 90s, what I can remember of the 90s. I think I remember feeling the same way actually about Next Generation when it went into its final season. It seems to I remember thinking this isn't I was still enjoying it and I was enjoying watching the episode, but it wasn't resonating as much with me as previous seasons. I remember thinking, yeah, I mean, it's time it comes to an end. I don't know if the writers slacked on it because they knew it was going to be the end of it, but I don't know. But it just, I remember it not, thinking this isn't,
So this is how I felt about DS9 from like, you know, from like the end of season 4. I was just like, this is going downhill. But like with Voyager, I thought it got better as it went on. You know, it did have its ups and downs with certain episodes, but I think it got better as it went on. I mean, 2 of my favorite episodes of Voyager are in the later seasons. And like the Unimatrix Zero double episode, Dark Frontier, Child's Play, Imperfection, they're all in the later seasons, and for me they're some of the best episodes. And then you've got the final episode, Endgame, you know, and it just got better as it went on.
Yeah, now that you mention it, and I've been seeing it pop up often on the last couple of weeks, is Q2, the episode with Delancey's kid Keegan. It's Itchy and Cue Ball.
Exactly, you know, I love that episode. That's also one of my favorite episodes.
I think even Manu's mentioned that. Yeah, he had a lot of fun doing that episode. But I think,
you know,
maybe that's an episode we should talk about during the lull between the end of Lower Decks and when Section 31 comes out the end of January.
Yes, definitely. I mean, I would love. I mean, I love that episode.
Who knows?
I love any episode with Q in. I really do. I love all the Q episodes, and then especially with Q's kid. You know,
Delancey's real kid actually playing his kid. That was
Oh, is that right? Oh, okay.
Yeah, Keegan Delancey.
Yeah.
So he's no longer He's no longer acting anymore, but
I loved that, you know. But this is what I mean, you know. With Voyager, it got better as it went on, whereas other Trekkers seemed to dwindle as it went on. And this is why I'm glad, like, obviously, apart from the final episode, which we don't talk about because it was just wrong on so many levels, but Enterprise ended. They could have possibly have squeezed a season 5 in there, but it ended before it started dwindling. And I do believe it would have started dwindling. And I don't want the same to happen to Lower Decks, because for me, going by the 3 episodes I've seen of the final season, even though I'm still enjoying it, I'm still laughing, you know, I'm still loving the Boimler screams. It is, for me, it's dwindled. Even though only a snipsy bit, you know, for me, it seems to have dwindled. So they're doing the right thing by cancelling it. Same as Discovery, although the way that ended, again, that ended very poorly. They could have done so much with that final episode, but I will miss Lower Decks. But there's always rewatches.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's what I always think, you know, if you love Trek so much, rewatch it. You know, even if you have to leave it 2 or 3 years, rewatch it. go back to the beginning. Go back to, well, I say the beginning. Go back to episode 1 of Next Generation, Encounter at Farpoint, and watch it all. Even if you watch an episode a day, if you don't want to watch it all too quickly, watch all of Next Gen, then move on to DS9, then move on to Voyager, watch all the movies,
That's gonna be like a year and a half of watching if you just do one a day.
Somebody did that. Somebody actually figured out how much time, if you were to watch everything Star Trek, series, movies, approximately how much time that would take up to watch it if you were to watch everything back to back. I think they calculated it would like take a month.
Yeah, if you did it
not even
nonstop.
sleeping, just straight 24 hours a day. It would take something like a month to get through it all, I think.
Well, with my insomnia, I've watched like all 7 seasons of Voyager. I've watched in like a week. I think I watched it in 8 days, and that's only because I managed to get a few hours sleep that week. But I full on binged watched it, and I got all of Voyager watched in about 8 days. So, insomnia does come in handy for some things.
Yeah.
But
I think I watched like the first 7 seasons of 24 in about a week or so when I was sick, and I was sometimes I couldn't sleep. Quit looking at it, Catie.
No, I need to make sure that it's not coming at me, because if it does, then I will like proper freak out. But it's in the exact same place that the others have been when they've wanted my attention, and it keeps turning round to look at me. And as soon as we get off here, I will be getting the Hoover, and it will be unalive.
The end of the spider.
Yeah.
I can deal with the little white house spiders, but it's those millipedes, those 2-3 inch millipedes, that just make me want to grab a blowtorch and just burn.
Well, I don't do critters. I really don't. But
don't either for the most part.
My biggest thing is spiders, because I have really bad arachnophobia. And it's like I said earlier, the spider that was in my bedroom round about this time last night was about that big. Yeah. And yeah, so.
Well, yeah, was there? Oh, there's one other thing that I didn't notice at first, but while they were hunting the Glumpus, they say Talin had a backpack that was very reminiscent of a proton pack from Ghostbusters.
Oh, is that right? Oh,
yeah.
I'm completely missing.
I didn't notice that.
I didn't notice it first until Trek movie. They put quite a few things down for like little Easter eggs and stuff. It's like going back to like with the Apocalypse Now I mentioned earlier, is saying when Milius was out in the red shadows of rubbing the head, just like scene for scene from Apocalypse Now.
Like I said, I haven't seen that movie, so
long time. Not a pleasant.
movie. Even the inner tubes going down the lazy river is just like a rip off of the when they were in the boat.
Yeah, isn't it? Yeah,
and getting attacked by the natives.
It's been so long.
Yeah, like me too. I might end up putting it on my queue eventually.
I gotta be in the right frame of mind if I'm gonna watch. It's one of those films where even when I saw it, I was like, I'm not sure if I ever want to see this again.
Yeah.
I'm like that with some movies, and then a few years later, I'll watch it again, and I'm like, I love this movie. I'm going to watch it on a weekly basis, and I do. And I've been like that with TV series as well. I've like started watching it and I'm like, oh holy hell, this is ridiculously bad. And then years later, I thought it even existed, and it's ended up being like one of my favorite TV series ever. I did that with Merlin, actually.
Oh,
yeah, I
that
couldn't
was hugely
stand it
popular when it was.
But then
couldn't
many
get into
years
it.
later,
Hmm.
literally about 3 years ago, or was it 4? Yeah, but about 4 years ago, I thought, do you know what? I'm going to give this a go. I was in desperate need of something new to watch, and I watched it, and it's become one of my favorite TV series.
Hmm.
And I've seen it like over a dozen times. You know, I could probably quote a lot of it. Same, you know, it's a similar story to Star Trek. I absolutely hated it, and then I became like a proper Trekkie.
Big Trekkie,
you know, watching every Trek that comes out, minus Prodigy, but watching every Trek that comes out and enjoying it and getting really into it. I mean, I actually didn't watch Lower Decks for years. I didn't watch it because I'm just like, this is going to be crap. And
I was prepared to not like it.
By like the animated series, and you know, I was just like, now they're just, you know, they're just trying to get money out of this, which, you know, of course they are. But then when Dave started doing his Trek Spaces, or over on Twitter, Extra Innings, and we started talking about Trek, and then Dave's like, oh, well, there's the new season of Lower Decks coming out, and I'm just like, I've never seen that at all, and he's like, well, we're going to be discussing that every week. So I watched it purely for Dave.
Yeah.
Purely for Dave and the DT family. I watched Lower Decks, and I really loved it, and I still do. But the DT family is the only reason why I've watched Discovery and Enterprise. It was official homework I had to do. And it was Dave who encouraged me to carry on with Discovery when I was just like, I could not get through season 1. It took me like 3 months to get through season 1 of Discovery, and he's just like, please persevere with it. It gets better after that. And I'm just like,
yeah, I had the same problem, so I'm just like, I speak what I know.
Yeah. And you know, I really loved it, and I was like, I was really apprehensive about Strange New Worlds, and I watched that, and I love it. I really do love it.
Yeah, I did too.
And I'm meeting 2 of the actors from there on Saturday. Sorry.
Oh.
But you know,
yeah, I was going to ask you about that because you're going to a convention, aren't you?
Babs, I'm so sorry, I can never pronounce his last name, but Dr. Mbenga and Erica Ortegas.
Oh.
From Strange New Worlds.
Can I ask what the convention is you're going to?
Comic-Con.
Oh, it is a Comic-Con. It's I'm taking the UK. I take
Comic-Con Liverpool, yeah.
Oh, Liverpool. Oh, nice. Oh.
Yeah, poor thing. She's got to get up at 2 a.m. to be able to get things sorted and get your taxi.
Yeah.
Yes, my alarm will be set for 2:30 a.m. and my taxi will be picking me up at about 5:15, and my train is just after 6 a.m.
Yeah.
I'll get into Liverpool Lime Street round about 8 o'clock unless there's any delays.
Nice.
And then the doors open at 9, and
wish I could go.
Then everything starts at 9:30. I probably won't get home until between like 6 and 9 p.m. on the evening. Yeah. Because I'm not just going for the 2 Trek guests. I'm meeting 3 from Torchwood, including John Barrowman, and also Elliot Page. Which reminds me, I've got to watch the final season of Umbrella Academy. So I'll have to get
that too. Yeah.
And I also need to read Elliot's memoir as well.
Well, you got a little bit of time left. Hey,
And I've got to do I've got to personalize my schedule as well.
Yeah.
So I've got a lot to do in the next couple of days. I'm going to be I'm going to be fucked by the end of Saturday.
Mm.
I really am, to say the least.
I miss the Trek conventions I used to have in Toronto. We used to have like this big one called Toronto Trek that ran for years and years. And the convention, now they're like Comic-Con, so the mix of everything, right? But this was, before those became popular, the conventions were kind of more geared towards something specific. And I just remember Toronto Trek. It was just, imagine an entire convention just Star Trek. And it was, but I love just to go to see the costumes. The costumes that these people spend like entire year to make and put together these fantastic costumes that in some cases are even, and they make them really durable because they've got to last through weekend, and the details some of them they put into it is just as good, if not better, than some of the TV shows, right? They just go all out to find the right color of the right bead in the right spot, and I'm just like blown away by what. And I still have piles of pictures going way back with some of my early my old digital cameras that were only like 2 or 4 megapixels in these low quality pictures, but I still got them all now on my in my photos library. And it's just, every once in a while I kind of flip through them just to see these old fantastic costumes. And
well, I think that this Comic-Con this weekend, it's going to be full of cosplay from Harry Potter and Lord of the Rings.
Oh, really? Really?
Yeah, they've got now I can never pronounce his last name because people pronounce it differently, but Ralph Fiennes, who plays Voldemort.
Oh, yeah.
Isaac. I could have met him, but I don't want to.
I just watched the Conclave, actually.
Yeah, it was in Discovery, wasn't he?
Was he? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Lucius Malfoy. I'm sure it was. I'm sure it was Jason Isaacs that was in Discovery.
Oh yeah, he was season 1. He was Orca.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I the name didn't click the first time you said it, so I was like, Isaacs. Oh yeah, he was Mir. Well, it turns out he was Mirror Lorca, so we still don't know whatever happened to Prime Lorca.
But there's those two. Rupert Grint's going to be there.
Oh wow! Okay.
And one of the Snatchers, I can't remember his name. But then Liv Tyler's going to be there.
Nice.
A couple of others from Lord of the Rings, I think.
Yeah.
Even Sebastian Stan's going to be there.
Wow, really?
Yeah, but I'm not interested in meeting him. As much as I love Bucky, I'm not interested in meeting him.
Yeah.
And it's not worth the money. Because these people who I have mentioned, that their autographs alone are about 150 to 200 quid.
Yeah.
And it's like, if it was somebody who I really wanted to meet, then fair enough. But, I mean, I would love to meet Sebastian Stan. I would love to meet Liv Tyler. There is no way in hell that I want to meet him enough to pay that. And
Years ago, it used to be like maybe $10 or something to meet. Like I met Lou Ferrigno and got his autograph and a picture taken with him, and Adrienne Barbeau, and I never paid more than $10 for them. But Adrienne Barbeau, loveliest person I ever met at a convention. She was so sweet to me. I'll never forget that one. She was so nice. By the way, I
mean, a lot of the people I've met at conventions are from the Arrowverse.
Oh, okay. Right.
Yeah, I mean, I love the DC TV series. The majority of people that I have met are from like Supergirl, Legends of Tomorrow, Batwoman, Arrow, all of those. And then, like, when I've been to Comic-Con, I've met a couple of other people that have been, like, my dream mates, like Jamie Campbell Bower, Joseph Morgan, Ian Somerhalder, Linda Larkin. She was lovely to me. She did the original. She did the voice of the original Princess Jasmine in the Aladdin trilogy. And then the 4 main characters of Red Dwarf. I love those.
Red Dwarf. Got to see that in years.
They were amazing to me. I've met 4 of the cast from Shadowhunters. Tyler Hecklin, he was lovely to me. We had such a laugh with him. Somehow we got talking about animals stopping trains, and then we got onto the subject of how evil geese are because I mentioned it. That was a really good icebreaker in the fan meet. But yeah, I've met some wonderful people through conventions, and I'm really glad that I'm finally getting to meet some Trek cast. I mean, technically, I have already met one person from Trek, Alan Van Sprang. I met him in May, and he was in season 2 of Discovery, in With the Bald Head.
Okay.
From Section 31. But I mainly know him from Shadowhunters as Valentine Morgenstern. And also the Tudors as Sir Francis Bacon, was it? Sir Francis Drake? I can't remember. But, so like technically I do have a Trek autograph, but like these are like the main ones, because I love Erica Ortegas. I really do. She is absolutely amazing, and she has got some damn good piloting skills. So I would love. I feel so blessed to be able to meet Melissa Navia, and I love Dr. Mbenga. He's a badass. He really is. Like covertly and. It's always the quiet ones that are the worst, as they say. So I'm like, I feel so blessed to be able to meet him as well. Although initially I did buy the ticket for Comic-Con just to meet John Barrowman.
Who wouldn't?
Low-key jealous there, but the kind of we're almost at 2 hours, so I'm thinking we're going to wrap it up for tonight. But we can always talk more backstage after.
By the way, Mala, I couldn't read it very well. Did Mala ask a question, or could I just want to address her comment real quick before we go? She thought, okay.
Well, I think it's like no body, no evidence. There's just been talk that say that Prime Lorca's in the Terran universe, but don't know if Terran Lorca killed him or not. But I just remember vaguely just talk that just like it's unknown definitively. But now with Discovery and being in the 32nd century, it's going to be kind of hard to do it unless Prime Lorca is able to pop back into Strange New World. So there's still a possibility. We got season 3. It's in the can. Season 4 has already been approved, so we're going to at least get one more season of Strange New Worlds. But we still got a time gap before Pike's incident.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, next week with Lower Decks, it's a Miglimoo semi-focused episode, so we get to apparently thinking we're meeting his parents. So that should be interesting.
Oh, all right. Okay.
Happens. And Miglimoo, the bird counselor.
Oh, yes. I know who you're talking about now.
Yeah. Because why can't we just be friends?
Oh, the parrot dude with the glasses.
Yeah, Dr. Miglimoo.
Yeah.
But
I can never remember his name.
Yeah. And Ma'a is back also, so that's the episode when. So we got Klingons and Avians, so that's going to be an interesting little avian plot going on there.
That'll be interesting.
And Boimler's still growing the facial hair. I've seen still images. He's
That's
actually
gonna
got,
be right to the end.
yeah, he's got a full mustache
You know
now.
that's gonna be a massive failure. He's trying to do that to pre-like his alternate universe, and it's not
Yeah.
gonna happen. And it's just gonna be this mess. And everybody's gonna be like,
No.
"Leave it off. It looks terrible."
No,
No,
he needs to shave like now. He
needs to.
really does.
But
He
nobody's
needs to,
saying
like,
anything.
shave
Like,
really badly.
that's the weird thing is each episode there's like a little bit more coming in, but it looks bad. Eventually, somebody's gonna have to speak up and go, "What the hell are you doing?" Like, you would think there would have been what do you call it? Like, if you're in Starfleet, you should have like either have a proper beard or shave it. Like, they would have some kind of standards on that. You'd think somebody would say something like,
Yeah, but I mean, just from the second episode, say Mariner called him out on it. It's like, there's something on your face. Like, what is it? What is it? It's like,
"Yeah."
Yeah, that's the kind of reaction that I had. Like, oh my god, what is that? What is that? Oh no, get it off, get it off.
It's these
Yeah.
little tiny lines that just
I won't be happy with Boimler until he shaves because it's so wrong.
Yeah.
It really
like
is so wrong.
Like I said, that one image of them in the lounge and Rutherford shooting that laser, he doesn't look like he's got any facial hair in that one. So we'll just have to wait.
Good. At least we know that
he'll accept it. He's not gonna.
At least we know that he finally sees sense.
He will eventually. I know it's gonna come around. He's gonna have to discover that he has to be his own self in this universe and do it, and not be somebody else. So
that could be what we end up seeing. So we'll just have to wait and see what happens. But as always, I should mention earlier, if you do like what we're talking about and you just weren't able to partake, be sure to click that like and subscribe button down below so you can be up to date on all what's going on. But until then, we'll sarcastic Vulcan salute, and we'll see you all next week.
Toodles.
Cool. You lose Dave? Oh, and he dropped right out.
And we're still live.
Yeah, we are. Did he actually just close right off?
I don't know what happened there.
I think he ended it and he left the studio at the same time. Maybe he'll pop back in. You can pop back in your own